Missouri Valley updated its mask policy because of the numbers on campus and in Saline County. I'm Zaire Williams, and this is KMVC News. This is the 10th week of the fall semester and the 13th for students on campus. And for the first time since reporting resumed in August, Missouri Valley isn't reporting any active COVID-19 cases. Missouri Valley didn't have any active COVID cases from February through graduation in the spring semester. There are 5 weeks of classes remaining, including this one and the week of Thanksgiving before finals week. The semester ends December 10th. Missouri Valley's recent trend of low active cases of COVID-19 allow MVC to loosen up the protocols for the mask policy. This represents the first change to the COVID guidelines since they were put in effect in August. KMVC's Austin Bolin reports on the changes made to the mask protocols.
Missouri Valley College made its COVID-19 mask policy less restrictive in light of the low active case numbers being recorded on campus. Masks are no longer required for students and faculty inside campus buildings. Missouri Valley still strongly encourages students to wear face coverings to help prevent the spread of COVID-19. Heath Morgan says the policy changes are a sign that life on campus is getting back to normal.
Getting back to normal is, the goal of everybody, and I think we're getting pretty close to it.
Missouri Valley has seen a lot of changes throughout the course of the pandemic. Ziggy Rampai says that student life at MVC has improved during the course of the pandemic.
Especially with how the pandemic was last year, compared to this year now, I think, it's slowly getting better.
Missouri Valley isn't the only college to update its mask protocols. Other institutions like the University of Missouri and Missouri State University have adopted less restrictive mask policies similar to Missouri Valley. Austin Bolin, KMVC News.
Masks are still required in classrooms and in the Learning Center. The updated mask protocol took effect October 11th. One of the features of the Missouri Valley app is a towel for campus safety. Only there's not a direct way from that towel to contact campus safety. KMVC's Courtney Cole reports on the best way for students to call public safety.
When it comes to the safety of students of Missouri Valley College, Vice President of Student Affairs Heath Morgan explains how the college is making sure students are safe on campus.
So we have public safety. We have an emergency management procedure. If something happens, we have both Marshall PD plus our off-duty officers traveling around.
Morgan says it only takes 3 clicks on the app to get in contact with public safety. For any other emergencies, they can also dial 911. Larry Stewart, a student at Missouri Valley College, explained how he feels safe on campus.
I feel safe on campus mainly because I know a number of people. I know a lot of people, and I haven't, gotten to any altercations with anything. Haven't been through, got robbed or anything like others have, but I just haven't experienced any type of danger on campus as of yet.
Morgan and Stewart says Missouri Valley College is doing its best to keep the students safe. Courtney Cole, KMVC News.
The Missouri Valley app is available in the Apple App Store or through Google Play. The discontinuance of the theater major is leading to changes in the fine arts programs. But as KMVC's Sharon Thompson reports, that doesn't stop the shows from going on.
This academic school year, the theater major is no longer offered at Missouri Valley College, but those who started the major at Valley will be able to finish out the degree under the theater major. Professor Harold Heineck says he now has to rely on non-theater majors to take theater classes.
So we've really become much more dependent on non-majors, which we always have been with a small department, but even more so now. So we've really had to pare down what it is we can do.
With theater not being a major anymore, jobs had to be let go, meaning individuals have to take on more responsibilities than they're used to. Heineck says that the difficult part was bringing in new majors for the old majors to collaborate with.
Sometimes a student will volunteer for something and think, well, I want to see what this is like, and maybe I'll explore that.
Since the theater major has been let go, it's harder to find students who are interested in the theater program. Heineck hopes that students will explore different options and potentially find interest in theater. Sharon Thompson, KMVC News.
The first show of the season is the Music Theater Ensemble on November 4th in the Eccleston Mabee Theater inside Valley's Tech Center. The Missouri Valley football team was trying to reverse a recent trend in falling behind early. The Vikings have had at least 2 score deficits in each of its last 4 games before trying to come back. The Vikings are 1-3 in those games. Valley was trying to stop a 2-game losing skid when it traveled to take on Benedictine, but the Ravens raced to a 16-3 first quarter lead before extending it to 30-3 in the second half and topping the Vikings 47-37. Ravens receiver Trey Adger scored on long touchdowns less than a minute apart, the first on a 42-yard pass to end the first half, and the second on a 67-yard pass just 44 seconds into the third quarter. Valley is now 0-2 in the South and is on the road to face 2-0 Central Methodist Saturday. The Missouri Valley men's soccer team dropped this game against number 1 CMU 5-0 on the 20th, dropping the Vikings into 4th place in the Heart of America Athletic Conference standings. Missouri Valley, Grandview, and Mid-America Nazarene are all within 1 point in the standings, so Saturday's game at Grandview helped shape seeding in the postseason tournament. Jack McKenzie's first goal of the season less than 2 minutes into overtime gave Valley a 2-1 win. The game was scoreless until the 75th minute when Grandview took the lead, but Kazuki Hashimoto tied it in the 77th minute. The win puts Valley into 3rd place behind Mid-America Nazarene, which also won on Saturday. The Vikings and Pioneers played with 2nd place on the line Wednesday night, and it's available on the Viking Sports Network. The Missouri Valley women's soccer team could have secured 2nd place and home field advantage through the Hart semifinals with a win against Grandview, but the Vikings played to a 1-1 draw. Both goals came in the first half. Valley's from Emily Rodriguez in the 33rd minute to tie it. Missouri Valley can clinch 2nd in conference with the win against MNU and a Benedictine loss or tie against Baker Wednesday night. Anything else and seeding comes down to the regular season finale Saturday at Covert Stockton. Wednesday's game is on the Viking Sports Network with coverage starting at 5. The Missouri Valley's women's volleyball team had its final home match of the season, spoiled by Mid-America Nazarene. The Vikings had a 2-0 lead against the Pioneers before the MNU took their final 3 sets. Valley had leads late in the 3rd and 4th sets, but couldn't hang on. Destiny Williams had 16 kills, and Brooklyn Evans had 22 digs for Valley in the loss. Valley did beat non-conference opponent Health Sciences and Pharmacy before falling in 4 at Covert Stockton over the weekend. Missouri Valley finishes up its season with a pair of games on the road. Missouri Valley College is returning to Haunted House at Blosser this semester after not being able to have it last year due to the pandemic. KMVC's Adam Balkin reports on the frights and sounds of the Blosser Haunted Hall.
Spooky season is upon us, which means the weather is cool, leaves are falling, and the haunted house returns at Blosser. Around this time last year, Missouri Valley College was battling the pandemic, making sure students were safe by enforcing COVID protocols and social distancing. This semester, things are beginning to move in the right direction as students are able to return as normal college students. The director of the Blosser program, Gabriela Morales, says she is looking forward to having the haunted house at Blosser.
It's always fun to see my Blosser program guys in a different light than just always in an academic setting, so it's fun to get to know them as we all work to put it together, and I know the students really enjoy it as well.
Hosting and operating a haunted house is a difficult thing to do alone. Morales says she has all the help she needs.
Me, my graduate assistant Ray Palucci, my 2 RAs Lorenzo and Gerald, and then majority of the Blosser guys.
Morales has met several evenings with her helpers, working together by hanging sheets and organizing rooms to make them look scary. Adam Balkin, KMVC News.
The Haunted House is October 28th from 8 until 10. Masks are required. And that's KMVC News for this week. I'm Zaire Williams. Thanks for watching.